Mati Raksasa Pohid Jala. Tiangtia Bakava Kame Badata Aheta.
My troops are ready to march, General. We can still take Brisbane.
This plan must work, National Leader. Prove you're still worth your price.
Vasha Pranaya.
Novosibirsk and the Novosibirsk. Snelling the weight of it.
Put your sabere kwa tibi nesiriamis.
Snell of state all fire.
Nelof the system began shivers on
Barala Africa litakuwa letu.
So there, Amos, how are things going on your end?
Yeah, not too bad, I suppose.
I just finished my first campaign in the scramjet plane. I was part of the space plane force sent to defend Nevada as the first space fleet was being launched from Greenland. But the Confederates soon caught wind of it and tried to advance on the base. Only a last-ditch orbital strike prevented them from destroying the ships on the launch pads. But they still managed to gain ground. Still, things are looking up. The Battle of Washington has just ended, and the Confederates are retreating along with their president.
Hey boys, thanks a lot for your assistance on the American front. Your scramjet sorties have helped a million.
All his efforts to cheat and win, which we've grown accustomed to, did not work today. If you don't understand how much of that rhymes with history, you probably weren't used to seeing it in color. So all I can say to him is don't let the door hit you where the porn star spanked you.
The Mysterians and the Empire have attempted another advance on America. After the Battle of the American Midwest, the NREP desperately attempted to destroy the Brez command ship by ramming it and overloading the reactor of their mothership in Operation Prometheus. Most of the Allied forces escaped damage. Much of the city of Cleveland did not. And the Civil War is still in its final battle.
We are gathering up all our experimental vehicles and taking them down to Malkara. It looks like a full-on all-out offensive is about to start. There are personnel from all sorts of wings.
It'll be an interesting change. And who's flying the experimental vehicles exactly?
We all are.
Oh, lovely.
And you also managed to recruit an unknown mercenary named Skullsy. Where do you get these guys?
What can I say? I meet people everywhere.
Yeah.
You know how I said how hard can it be? When we first started this, well, if I'm honest, I think it's gonna be really hard.
No comment.
It's crossed my mind too. I just think we're gonna look ridiculous. It's showtime, people. The aliens are coming this way. Let's get Ireland's defenses reinforced as soon as possible. Some business trip this turned out to be.
I address you tonight, not just simply as the President-elect of the United States, but as a citizen of humanity. We are faced with the very gravest of challenges, and yet, not for the first time in our history, we have the technology to prevent our own extinction. All of our combined modern technologies and imaginations.
This will be a week of many military offensives, designed to overwhelm the enemy and turn the tide against this alien menace. In America, the Battle of Pennsylvania is set to begin, as Union forces and their allied forces will clash with the President's new Confederacy and their mercenary and collaborator forces. At the same time, the alien forces are on the attack, with the Rendulu utilizing their fighting machines used for reconnaissance by Brez. The Air Force will launch an operation against both enemy forces in Texas. The US Army is also initiating another operation in Michigan to combat giant alien monsters controlled by the Mysterians, known as Mogara and the Queen Eul. In Africa, the capture of Oriental Province will be the last stand for the Brez and LSAA forces in Ouroboros-occupied Central Africa. There, and the Central African Republic capital, the enemy is facing the IUN, Russians, and a growing number of African patriots, but has held out for almost 7 months. While their air forces have been worn down quickly by attrition, the enemy pilots are fighting to the end. Across the Central Russia front, The Battle of Novosibirsk is about to begin. Temperatures around Novosibirsk are about to drop, and the Russian Federation will launch exoskeleton troops for the first time against freezing Brez's forces near the city. When the enemy advance resumes, Brez's forces will be weakened.
I can't promise any of you a ride home, but if you're with me, the world needs you now.
It will be a similar story in Queensland. Our best detectives at Casual Squad have acquired intel about a Brez offensive, Operation Typhoon, an attack against Brisbane. However, an insider within the government threw the military chain of command into confusion. Launch a sufficiently prepared air attack and drive the Brez forces from the largest city in Queensland. Fleets of ships will go head-to-head. The Royal Navy with their carrier HMS Prince of Wales and the underwater battleship HMS Illustrious is on the hunt in the Atlantic Ocean for the Ouroboros fleet and Brez underwater vessels. Our space fleet will also be engaging enemy vessels over the Saturnian moon of Enceladus. They will be backed by the Black Ghost. This will be our first offensive strike against the enemy in space.
Through all of the chaos that is our history, through all of the wrongs and the discord, through all of the pain and suffering,
we are faced with the gravest threat of destruction since the first invasion. Destruction not simply from the alien invaders, but from our own division. And we all are suffering in the midst of a great global pandemic. All this was made possible by our internal quarrels, propelled by villainous thirst for power and manipulation in the shadows. This war must serve as a chance to start again, a chance to set differences aside and fight together as one. Only through unity will our duty be achieved, from which destiny will be achieved. The voices from underground of whispers of freedom will be answered. Rise up and hear the call. History is calling to you. Today, we fight for the kids.
I want every available plane in this space in the air.
Send everyone. Get those soldiers on the ground.
Watch out, go!
We're mustering up whatever troops we can get.
We've been ordered into attack formation, lads.
Спасибо, сэр. Хорошо, всех получили свою миссию.
Incoming transmission from the Allied forces. They want to organize a counter-offensive.
The T-160s are to proceed on course. They are approved to drop 2,000-ton bombs on target.
Способны разрушить и глобал
We are going to visual recon.
The attack squadron has AMRAAM missiles locked on target. Brisbane and Gold Coast squadrons reporting lock on.
Принесите окудников. Мир в путь.
Yes, допускаем все дождь. Authenticate operation at time 0300.
Attention all aircraft. This will be a danger close fire mission.
Weapons identical. Falcon off. She's closest to Killbox Romeo Tango. Send the fighters in, sir.
Weapons tight. I want everything loaded.
Proceed to Killbox Lima Papa. Engage hostiles.
Allow to attacker. Ready when you are.
Rear flank follow suit. Hold on, Brisbane. Marauder team, left 50. Reference 120. Forming up its flight package. We have visual. Silny zbieżna. Берете na четвертій готовності. Господа, блокируйте і закращайте.
Get ready.
Розвити видельними подразделениями, sir.
We may fall, but not this day.
Давайте очистимось із провінція од Мазура.
Are we locked on? Aye, aye, sir. Locked on target. Fire at will. Fire at will! Fire! 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 Agoin Porceladio!
Cleared hot! Fire!
Light them up.
Disable drug linear! Destroy all ships!
Fire! Contact! Incoming! Incoming! A flank on the road! Watch your head! Fire torpedoes! Missile missile! Fox 2! Flank, Fox 2! Boomerang 1! Fox 2! You got this, Paulina. I got you covered.
Alright.
Mothership is taking damage.
Taking every fire out here!
We're targeting that beacon. We're going to get it right this time.
I've got you covered, Winnover. What is visual on ground forces engaging the fighting machines and taking heavy casualties? Poterial control! Направился я к нашему периметру, вышла из-под контроля. We gotta get these civilians out of the kill zone. That was one of ours. We got a visual of an alien monster on the ground. We have visual on mercenary MiG-29. Come on, move, Garudas, move! Skull, stay close to me. We lost another one. Concentrate fire on that Jager Scorpion. That's a direct hit. Now, fire Mazer. Almost got this. Let's drive him out of Ireland.
Anti-air has first priority.
Ground forces are taking casualties.
Stay calm. We're gonna get you out of here, alright?
Otherwise, we'll be engaging an alien monster. Be careful of civilians down there.
I've taken several hits.
Two, get a lock. Pop that guy. Incoming! Heads up! Attack him one, that's a gun run. Squadron is 1, Fox 2. This is gonna be close.
Focus fire on the second Messiah's fortress.
We're away 2. Assess damage. I'm hit. I'm out of control. I'm taking this thing with me. Get rubbing your rosaries, boys. Whoa! Target at 12 o'clock. Got an ace up and bloody trumpet.
Look out!
You're out of time. You gotta disable it now. Someone's gonna have to fly right into it. Tell my friends, it was an honor to be on this journey with them. Rurikov, you were taking
It was an honor serving with you, Black Ghost. As the Brez offensives were halted at the gates of Novosibirsk, a Russian strategic counter-offensive and small-scale offensive operations forced the Brez armies back to their original positions. It was a major setback for the aliens, and the end of the idea of a quick Brez victory in the Russian Federation. In Australia, the Brez offensive on Brisbane stopped. The alien commander conceded to his human allies that the offensive had failed. They had underestimated the enemy's strength, as well as his size and climate. With the surrender of Oriental Province, the last LSAA stronghold had fallen. One last Republican-led Confederate attempt to break the Union hold had failed at the decisive Battle of Pennsylvania. This meant that the Union now controlled the entire perimeter surrounding the South, completely cutting it off from Washington, D.C. The American forces scored a tremendous victory against the invaders in the span of 12 hours. So now, the opportunity to rebuild and fight back.
Oh, what a battle that was.
Can I just say, that was one of the most difficult things we've ever done. Being nice to each other for a whole week.
I know. When we were doing that resupply run and you said good luck, mate, I nearly fucking crashed.
Still, that was one hell of a journey. We've done us proud. That was our first major victory against the Black Reach Eternal Plutocracy itself. We shot down their command mothership, took out their frontline commander, and ruined Brez's plans of total annexation. Now we're on the offensive. However, it's come at a big price, though. We've taken a fair amount of casualties, like we lost a lot of our Hornets, and we still haven't found anything to replace them with.
Partly because you flew slowly.
Actually, hang on. You risked us not finishing at all by flying like a maniac in the last hour.
Well, no. You would still be flying mathematically certain had you not tried to go for that fucking berserker interceptor.
That elite interceptor that was fighting for former glory?
You said it wasn't my fault.
I was being nice. I didn't mean it.
Anyway, it seems normal service has resumed. Okay. In that case, gather round, everyone. Time to let you in on the grand secret that not even you guys knew about. So, during the battles on the Queensland front, we managed to acquire and reverse engineer more of Brez's time-traveling capabilities. The Empire Command were fools to think that Pauline Gabra, much less her cronies, would be able to hold on to such secrets so tightly. Especially after what you guys managed to pull off. But we got our information from an insider in the Empire, an old Nagari war veteran, codenamed Prophet. Our new secret time machine has been set up in a bunker near Mudabara Airport, and I was sent through it while you guys went out and took that mothership head on.
Oh yeah? Where'd you go?
According to the Prophet, there was a large temporal gateway, if you will, that opened up to our present day. The NRIB called it the Flash Portal. The Prophet called it the Shockwave. The time on the other side ranged from 2004 to 2007, and the locations encompassed almost anywhere in the known galaxy. It's like a whole war led up to this invasion. We were going back to prevent another one here. A galactic-wide war? We couldn't have that on our shoulders. On my adventure, Mac and I were flying with the Dragons of Ethonia and battling the militant forces of darkness that we later found out would join the Black Reach Eternal Plutocracy. It was an epic and fantastic battle that lasted over the course of a single Earth week. But I helped lead the charge to end this 100-year war and bring salvation to the dragons of the Dracogen skies.
Wait, isn't that a Flash game?
Anyway, I think it's going to be a fair amount of time before the next thing comes around. There's a lot of space here to throw a party. And after that, who wants to hit the town and Flinders Street with me?
Just give me 2 pina coladas. I'll beat the gate by on the beach.
There is not enough rum on this fucking island to cure my headaches.
After the November offensives, Brez and their allies suffered their first major defeat in several campaigns. Their unstoppable advance has finally been halted. Now our forces have been given extra life. The plan is to engage the Empire's Russia Aksauhini, or Russia Corps, with the 7th Armored Division of the IUN, while the United Korean divisions cover the left flank. Meanwhile, on their right, the Russians, supported by the 4th Armored Brigade, detached from the 7th Armored, will make a clockwise flanking advance west of Magadan. They will then hold the positions threatening the rear of the line of very defensive strong points. Central to the plan was the destruction of the Brest armor by the 7th Armored Division to allow the relatively light armored Russians to advance north to the Kolyma River on the coast while the landing forces continued to Okhotsk. Beneath the waters, the submarines were working overtime. The USS Montana was leading the way, alongside the Japanese Soryu and the Korean Josan An Chang-ho ballistic missile submarines. The new Russian submarine Novosibirsk was also constantly on the hunt.
Operacja Crusader II podrazżalenia Karasho and Morytoto Kolotina Boże Sytuacja na Dolnym Wostok Dosięgu
Doesn't look like a home for them anymore, huh? The enemy will answer for this.
This is the circus. We're over the DZ, so get the hell out and take that runway.
Go, go, go! Let's take this damn airstrip. Urging to engage. Show me a fight. Spot on support, Hunter Team. Resistance is no factor.
Got eyes on multiple tanks in the airs. Roger. All tanks move to combat position.
지성 군은 지금 장치호 있다. 그는 거센 저항에 증명하고 있습니다.
Armored units, this is Sergeant Hale, ROK Army, 3rd Infantry Division. We're with the survivors of Okhotsk in the mountains. We need you to come bail us out.
New type of tank.
기초기는 그중 정차가 있습니다. Scoreless in our face. 잠수함 이 비오지역 1 비오샤는 AVAX 비항기를 보호해야 합니다.
탄도 미사일.
관심 1 구수 있는 한 가지 방법입니다.
Entering attack range. Ready for missile launch. All ports open. All systems green.
Запускай ракеты. Novosibirsk ущербность оквезе запускение ракеток и на курс.
Подъяси ракеты. Много их.
Мисайлі точно.
Crusader has been won by a hair's breadth by the army divisions. But had we lost it, we would have had to fight any otherwise future battles earlier, without any decisive weapons. The mission is going very smoothly, Commander Langham.
I was in my Super Hornet over the Kamchat Peninsula, helping out the tanks flying alongside Navy jets as well. Part of our new Power initiative. It was an epic free hunt. Everybody was in. There was also rumor of nuclear weapons being prepped as well. Oh, and Omega was shot down again.
The Resolution, the flagship battlecruiser of the IUN Pacific Defense Force, has managed to deliver extreme punishment defending refugee ships. But for her, it was already too late. Where do we stand? In a world of hurt, with no US cavalry on tap to ride over the hill. Put simply, our intelligence operation inside Russia is royally screwed. At this point, it's just a matter of counting our losses.
How so? My understanding was that Miss Cypress and her team had evaded capture so far.
That's true, Captain. For the moment, anyways.
Okay, meaning what exactly?
Meaning that their luck is bound to run out, and probably sooner rather than later. Look, I wish it wasn't so, but we have to face the cold hard facts. Before too long, every counterintelligence and police officer between Vladivostok and Moscow will be hunting them. And right now, Miss Cyprus and the others have almost no lift out or very few places to hide.
Then we've got to get them out as quickly as possible.
A 4,000 round-trip flight through hostile airspace. That's a suicide mission.
It'll be tough, sure, but not impossible.
True. It was one thing to risk lives and valuable equipment going off to a vital strategic target, or even to retrieve someone whose head happened to be stuffed full of crucial information about our spaceplane technology. But the equation is significantly different in this situation.
Is that how you see this? As a bloodless mathematical game where you assign values to human lives? And discard them if they don't balance?
I call it like I see it, Captain. Sam and the others are professionals. They knew the risks going in. Let me be clear. I will not authorize some wild-eyed rescue mission that would only throw away more lives and more equipment.
Sir!
Let me take this, Remorse. The question is not open for further discussion, Captain Byrne. I don't plan to discuss anything. Whether you authorize it or not, Remorse and I are going to start prepping a mission to extract Sam and her team. And if it's all doable, we're off. That sounds a lot like mutiny. Call it what you like. Neither Remorse nor I are bean counters. We're soldiers, though admittedly a little on the irregular side. And as soldiers, our code says that you do not throw your people to the walls just because the fucking cost-benefit ratio doesn't look favorable. If I fire you for insubordination, you won't have access to Tyrannus' own aircraft weapons or equipment. Yep, that's so. Then again, I bet we can talk Julia Horatio into letting us borrow a few toys from the Psymaster's inventory if we have to. So it's your decision, Commander Langham. You can back us on this now despite the risks, or you can sit back and watch. My friend's right, Langham. This isn't a fight you can win. For that matter, this isn't really a fight you should want to win. Sam Cyprus and the others have obtained priceless intelligence for us in the past. At 2, Commander? No dagger, see? Just the truth as I see it. Very well then. Much as I dislike yielding to pure emotional blackmail, I'll make an exception in this case. This one case. Alright, you can prep for your rescue mission. Thank you, sir. I appreciate this. Don't thank me too quickly, Captain Byrne. You may have just bought yourself and Remorse a one-way ticket. Things go wrong out there, that's it.
Can I just say that I'm only here because I want to save Marcus and Sam and the others. I hate long flights, I hate being cold, I hate this big jumper, and I hate your stupid plane.
Yes, but James, think of it this way. You will be the only man ever to go to the North Pole. Who didn't want to be there?
Look at that awful expanse.
Are you cold?
No.
Are we falling through the ice?
Not yet.
Then cheer up.
How far have we got to go?
Barely started. Who do you think will win this one?
I think we're all gonna die. Gently!
We don't have time for gently.
So this, Major Schofield, is the Psymaster's XCV-74 Outlaw, an intercontinental Estol stealth transport. Upon hearing reports of the patrol mission, Ibis was quick to order a new design, one that would exceed the range's performance but also increase survivability. Well, the main changes, apart from the twin weapons bays for air-to-air missiles, the main feature for quick escapes is the supercruise ability. Thanks to its new engines, the GE Affinity, a turbofan designed back in 17 for supersonic business jets, it takes know-how from a rather obscure scaled composites design.
Let's show Russia how easily we can do it. Let's forge a career as the world's worst explorers. HMS Garuda is plowing on. The Icelandic engineers are right behind us.
Garuda 7-4, this is Polaris 2-4. Upon pressure, disconnect. You're topped off and good to go. Copy that 2-4, thanks for the gas. Clearing away now. Our promised Trojan horse is right where it is supposed to be.
Contact is a Global Freightways Air Freight 747 cargo plane. 200 yards, vertical separation 100 feet. Airspeed is now 500 knots, 10 knots closure.
This one's in worse condition than the Azerbaijani one was.
I guess we just have to hold out here and hope they don't notice us.
Oh God, we're too late.
You know, we are now the most northern people in the world, apart from Michael Parkinson, obviously.
I'll be damned. This crazy stunt is actually working. Those guys really don't know we're up here.
We are approaching the breakaway point, 20 seconds out.
Copy that. Any change on that Nebo M radar?
Negative. Nebo M radar is still active.
Too bad. Guess we'll just have to roll the dice. Executing breakaway. Engaged DTF 200. Hard ride.
DTF engaged. LZ coordinates laid in.
Better give Sam and our people the good news that we're getting close.
On it. Message sent.
Guys, we're gonna have to go with a contingency plan. We gotta split up. Sam, take the bike and go. We'll hold these guys off. Alright, Fabian. One more time.
So, X-Ray, you got America, we get Russia. I have to ask you, is that fair? The weather was a little better in America, I have to admit. So was the company, I hear.
Athena Squadron, do you read me?
Loud and clear, Russian Command. We're in position and ready to go, and you are, Marshal. Just say the word.
Good. We will commence our attack immediately, and I'm counting on you to reduce the enemy defense.
Here we go. Visual contact is confirmed. Looks like fighters and bombers. Blood targets to choose from. We're moving to intercept. They've got fighter cover. No organized formation, though. That means we can pick them off one at a time. Punch through the formation and take out those bombers. Aye, aye, Captain. I've spotted hypersonic transport planes. They're unloading paratroops. Hit them in the air and it solves the problem on the ground. It's working. Keep hitting those bombers. No mercy, fellas. They are not getting past us. Athena pilot, this is Russian Control. Do you read me? Affirmative, Control. What can we do for you?
We have confirmed the presence of enemy aircraft over the western outskirts of Novosibirsk. Their target is clearly the front line.
We've got gunships starting their runs on the front line. We have engaged the enemy ground forces. Keep implementing the reinforcements. What's this something he was talking about? Death squads. They're not here to fight. They're here to kill. One at a time. Don't let them through. We've got a significant enemy ground presence. Moving to intercept. All Athena units, this is Raven Control. Not yet. The Russians are bringing up rocket batteries to take them out, but they will need you to act as a spotter and direct their fire. Round one goes to the good guys. Don't get too cocky, men. There's no way we're done yet. I'm seeing an enemy strong point just outside the city. More troops, strong AA defenses, and something else I can't quite see. That'll be a tough nut to crack. Athena pilot, we require your further assistance. The cowardly attempt to destroy our city has been defeated, but the enemy is not withdrawn. We have identified the enemy weapon. It is what they call a Jasper Geiges, and it is targeting the command center. What? A super cannon. Whatever that hits doesn't stand a chance. Holy crap, that's a big gun! Destroy the weapon, quickly! We cannot defend against such a thing! It's firing! Holy crap! We are reporting heavy damage to area where shell hit, but command center is undamaged. Stop it before it fires again. That super cannon is shielded by some kind of advanced armor. The Russian rockets are bouncing right off. That gun almost has the range on Novosibirsk. We need to take it out now. Let's hit it. It's firing again. Look out! Direct hit on the cannon. The gun is almost done for. Finish it off. That's it! The gun's going over!
Athena pilots, you will be pleased to know that the Stratocracy is falling back to their lines. Today, at least, they will not take Novosibirsk.
Fight on, Sam.
We're getting really close to a go or no-go decision on landing. DTF disengaged. Okay, I have the LZ in sight. We need a better read on the situation. I really don't want to land blind. Marcus and Fabian aren't with her?
New Russian radio transmissions. That gunship pilot is claiming they killed at least 2 enemy agents. He says they were trying to escape in a vehicle his gunner destroyed with rocket fire.
Siren, you better get set. We're coming in hard and fast. Hang on. Direct hit on the Russian gunship. We're gonna pick the capsule up and we're gonna get out of here. We're away.
Our guys are hellishly quick. Off the mark.
Too quick. You ever get the uncomfortable feeling of the bad guys reading our minds?
I count 4 MiGs coming our way. They're supersonic.
Okay, this is definitely not good. What can we do?
Well, when I was a kid at Townsville Central, the first rule of hide and seek was never to be where the other guy figured you'd be. DDF disengaged.
We'll stay supersonic just long enough to put us out pretty far ahead and off to the west of our predicted track. With luck, we'll evade those MiG-31 pilots by the time we get into Allied territory for a while anyway.
We're burning a lot of fuel.
Copy that. Kinda makes me wish I'd stashed a few more cans of jet fuel in the back.
How bad is this?
Remember that animated
Movie? The one where the drunken sea captain climbs down to the nose of the plane and belches alcoholic fumes into his tank to keep the flying just a few seconds longer?
Yeah.
Well, it's not quite that bad.
I would slug you if you were not flying this airplane right now.
And here people told me being a covert ops pilot was a dangerous job. Crap. Okay, I take that back. This is a dangerous job.
Cannot hide, cannot run. So we fight?
Well, boys, I reckon this is it.
Do not say anything about going toe-to-toe nuclear combat with Ruskies, or swear I will eject and die happy.
I got a plan. Let's lure them to this position using spear. Make them turn northeast.
I got it. They're turning now. Range now 25 miles. Assigning targets for Sidewinders.
Garuda 7-2, this is Shadow Bravo 1. Hope you don't mind us crowding you a little. Not a bit, Bravo 1. Welcome to the party. Garuda 7-4, this is Raven Ops. Mr. Langer may have talked about leaving you all hanging out to dry here and in trouble, but I sure as hell never said any such thing. Iron Wolf Garuda, the Polar Express has arrived. Repeat, the Polar Express has arrived. Water spout to all call signs. At IP, commencing bombing run. Allied bombing successful. All call signs, green light for advance. Showtime-ida, Sodai.
Jumpy whistle.
One to all squadrons.
Engage at will.
Let's go hunting, ladies and gentlemen.
Arriva Vaja. Kanano ready. Hyundai CN4.
Target destroyed.
Miauli missile. The enemy's getting confused in his own ranks. Don't let this one get away. Follow me. Have some of this, you bastards. Fire!
Nicely done, Starship. A little more practice and you'll be able to do something amazing.
잘했어. 이제 동맹국 이 안정화하게 기획할 수 있도록 합시다. Hang on, I'm getting a report in.
What is it?
They've detonated a nuclear weapon.
What the hell for?
The Russians have just executed a tactical nuclear strike to wrap up Operation Crusader II by order of the President. And now, nuclear weapons are on the table.
The airship Kharbarost is down. Ha 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 ha!